Hi everyone, today I want to share you my new PCF controls that I already created. This PCF control helping you to generate chart. For example, the chart types that it supported is line, bar, area, scatter, and also pie. For the data retrieving part, it's actually supporting two modes, which is FetchXml, the normal FetchXml that we are used to, and also it's supporting SQL via TTS endpoint. So before we deep dive into the demonstrations, let me explain how to actually set up the PCF control. So this is the contact forms that I showed you earlier. I actually created 5 text properties for the demonstrations purposes. There's a query, chart title, chart type, chart mode, and also chart color. So this is the controls that I already set up for the demonstrations, of course. And as you can see, I actually bind those properties into the PCF control. And if you notice in here, the only properties that needs to be bound actually just the query. For the other stuff is actually optional. If you want to bind the properties, it's okay. But for example, let's say you just want to have hardcode title, you can do so in here. So instead of bind to the table column, so you just needs to define in here, for example, demo purposes, etc. The same with the other properties that you can see in here, like mode, chart type, or also color. So once the setup done, I'll explain to you regarding with the solutions of the InsurgoChart, the PCF control. So as you noticed, because we are using DTS endpoint, I actually created custom API. So this is the custom API that I created. It needs input parameter, which is the select, and also for the output, the custom API returning entity collections. For the custom APIs to work, actually we need two environment variables, which is the TTS endpoint connection strings and TTS endpoint token. For the format itself, I explain in here. So for TTS endpoint connection string, you need to provide this connections format. And for TTS endpoint token, it actually JSON string, which you need to provide the client ID, client ID, client secret, the resource, the URL, where the environment needs to be connected, and also the tenant ID. So let's go to the demonstrations itself. For example, still wants to use this query, and I just want to change the line in here. I can change the line because this is not bound, so you need to actually refresh manually. If you can see in here, uh, it's changed the chart is changed using the purple. For example, I want to change the red to red. I just need to change it to red and then refresh again. And then, for example, you also want to change to different mode. I just copy paste over here. I want to change it using, for example, bar, say, refresh. And this is how it looks like. For example, I want to change to using area, the same also, and it become like this. Scatter, for example, and let's change it to blue. And it become like this one. And again, sorry, I forgot about this one. For example, you want to change this one. The title, you also can do it same also. Then now let's go to the mode that I want to demoing to you all also. So in here, I just need to change to SQL. And for the query itself, I already have this SQL query. And let's change this one into line. Or we also can use file, for example. That's all, guys. Thank you.